It's so simple. Start. Don't wait. I'm gonna wait till next year when I get my taxes. I'm gonna wait till my
Nah.
kids get out of school. No, start now, wherever you at. Like right now, if you're watching this video, start right now. And do what you feel like you know you want to do is gonna save you and your family and your sanity, right? And when you start, do not quit. Keep going. Don't stop.
All
Most
right.
people pull back when stuff start getting rocky. Most people pull back. That's when you should go in harder.
Yeah. Well, we want to welcome everybody to the show. I'm Roger. We got Queenie here. David's missing in action again. He's at the movie theaters. Not a problem, Dave. And we have our special guest tonight, Ronnie. Ronnie, we want to welcome you to Passive Gains for Life, where we go over the mindset, the tool set, the skill sets to get you the assets so you can create passive gains for life. So, what's up,
That's what's
man?
up. Hey man, I'm great, man. We've been trying to get me here for a minute, so I'm glad to finally be a guest, man. Thank you guys so much. This is my first one. I get offers all the time,
Wow.
so I usually turn them down. So uh, thank you guys.
Hey man, I'm glad you could be here, man. Hey, I am happy you decided to make your first appearance on a podcast with us. I
Yeah.
appreciate that so much, man. You have such a great characteristic, man. When I first came across you on TikTok, this man was like wilding out, like doing page audits, like, man, no, you need to do this and you need to, man, this is trash. Get this stuff out of here. Don't let this humble appearance fool y'all. You know, he's just being nice for the camera right about now. But once this man warm up, he gets into it and he's full of fire. And let me tell you, to this day, after meeting him, I'm still implementing all of the training that he gave me that one day on his live. So, hey, hats off to you, man.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
sir. So, we want to get into it. So, how long have you been doing affiliate marketing for?
Oh man, I want to say probably about 7 years, but to be honest, I wasn't really taking it fully seriously like probably the first 2 or 3 years. And the reason I wasn't taking it seriously, I was still working. I was working in a retail store. I was a general manager, and all I knew at that time I wanted to get off of that job. But I worked so much to where I felt like I didn't have time to do it. You know, those are always excuses to me. Um, but yeah, overall, like 7 years, I actually got really serious. Um, Probably about around the time of the pandemic. Right, everything started to change in my life to where it was I had to figure out something to bring in some income, and that's when I dove deep in that.
Really? And what was your first take on that? Like, what made you dive deep? Was it like any particular thing, or what caused you to get like
Yeah,
serious with it?
it was tons of stuff. Uh, I lost my job. Right. I won't say that company's name. They're a real good company, and I understand why they did what they did. But when the pandemic first hit, you know, they kind of like laid off everybody, right? And I was a higher paid salary manager, and I was actually in training to become a district manager, right? But what they did when they saw that the pandemic was going to take a whole lot longer, uh, they said, "Hey, we won't be bringing back any of our salary employees." They felt the people who worked hourly needed their jobs the most, right? So if there was ever a chance to bring somebody back or keep somebody there, they were going to keep the hourly employees, and they were going to just pay say just a regular supervisor, right, would
Yeah.
pretty much be running the store, and they would continue to keep some of their district managers or whatever. But long story short, I lost my job, and money started uh, the money started running out real fast.
Mm.
I have a large family, so it's 5 kids and my wife, and I was the sole provider of my family. My
Wow.
wife, she was a stay-at-home mom, so she would, take care of our kids, get them back and forth to school. They had out of school and extra activities. Or so when I lost it, all the income, was gone. I ended up going through all of my savings. I went through all of my 401k, everything. My car got repoed. My wife's car got repoed.
Mm.
Um, I had to file bankruptcy.
Oh man.
And what ultimately happened was we got evicted and we got put out on the street. I actually experienced that. The
Wow.
sheriff knocking on your door,
Yeah.
and they hire people to come and put your stuff out, and it was broad daylight, um, in the afternoon, and they sat me and my children and my wife, all of our things in the parking lot. I didn't even have money to get a storage truck or a storage unit. And
Whoa.
I had to call some family while it was all happening, and literally I was crying and I was begging them to just, hey man, just give me something so I can just get some of our stuff
Yeah.
and put it in storage or whatever. After that, it was a big motivation. Only thing I had was my computer. I didn't even have a laptop. I've
Mm.
never really been like a laptop guy, but imagine me. I had an all-in-one computer.
Mm-hmm.
So imagine a big man
Mm.
like myself lugging a big old monitor with the keyboard
Yeah.
and sitting outside McDonald's so I could use their Wi-Fi, or I would sit outside Kroger
Yeah.
and use their Wi-Fi, or any place that had free Wi-Fi. If they wouldn't let me inside or whatever,
Yeah.
I would use their outside outlets, plug up my computer, connect to their Wi-Fi, and I would literally be sitting on the sidewalk
W-
typing
with
and
a
doing
desktop.
stuff
With a
with a
desktop.
desktop computer, right?
Wow.
So when I tell people, hey, it's no excuses to making it if you really want it. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Like I've actually been there and hit rock bottom.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir. You definitely hit the bottom. It was no place to go but up.
Oh yeah, man. I talk about it a lot in my content, and my team. Well, I should say a lot of my students know it, but yeah, those first few years were very hard. Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I amazed. And also I have so much questions. By the way,
Sure.
Roger,
Fire
on
away.
my end, your stick, I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm noticing I'm having some camera issues. Y'all go ahead and talk. I'm going to come out and come back in.
Okay, no problem. We're gonna talk.
All right.
So Ronnie,
Not a problem.
I have some question because I've realized that a lot of people they're so comfortable where they're at. Like they want
Hmm.
to start a side hustle or whatever you call it. They want to start a flea market, start to do something besides their 9 to 5. But because they're comfortable and they're getting a paycheck, it's like that holding them back from starting. And with your
Exactly.
story, seeing that you was up there in the ranks, you know,
Hmm.
and yet still, just like that, everything changed. So people who
Yeah.
watching who have a 9 to 5, who want to start their own business, what would you tell them?
Listen, as long as you're working for somebody else, um, they have control over your, at least your financial life. And if you really want to take it there, your financial time or your freedom outside of your job. And one thing the pandemic taught me alongside the employer is that they have they can change your life just by flipping a switch. And if you only just depend on those things and you look for those things and something like that happen, it's a really big eye opener. And one thing I said to myself, I said, I will make sure this never ever happens to me or my wife or my children again. And during that process, I actually, because I still have my resume and things like on recruiting platforms. And during that process, I was getting job offers, right? And I was turning them down because I said, I don't even want to get it back into that position because it's not faithful. It's not something I can trust anymore, right? So that would be my biggest thing. I wouldn't never talk bad about a 9 to 5, right? Because there are some people, they love what they're doing, right? And a 9 to 5 job is a good, honest living, but it's just risky business if you only look for that as your only stream of income, right? Because they have the rights and the authority to let you go, right?
They
So
do.
Yeah,
that
and
would be
I
the
think,
biggest
yeah,
thing.
I think even like being an entrepreneur, it's a big risk just having putting all your eggs in one basket. Either way you take it, you have to have multiple streams of income. And so, um, you mentioned something, two things you mentioned. One, you mentioned that you had to do it. Some earlier you mentioned that you were saying that you didn't have time. And I think that
Mhm.
is one of the biggest things I'm hearing from individuals who want to start, but they're something is stopping them. And what is stopping them is, well, excuses one, but they keep saying, oh, I don't have time. I don't have time. What would you tell that person who watching right now who is saying the exact same thing?
They don't want it bad enough because people make time. We make time for what we want, right?
Right.
If we need to do something that we care about, we'll make time for it, right? And there's never going to be a perfect time. You just have to make that time happen. And the second thing I would say, hey, I'm always preaching this. Like it's we forget this so quickly, but it's no matter how big or how shiny somebody makes success be and entrepreneurship be, listen, the numbers don't lie. It's only 1% of people that are what we call quote unquote successful, which means they're making 6+ or 7+ figures each and every month. It's only 1% of billions of people in the world. All right, so success is designed to be difficult, right? At the beginning of time, anybody who has done whatever what they call successful in their minds or what we would categorize as successful had a long sacrifice, a journey that was full of trial and error and tribulations and ups and downs. But they kept going because they sacrificed things like we're talking about their time, their money, um, their, their sometimes even in some case family, right? Friends, all of those things because we look at the bigger picture, right? So if you say I don't have enough time, that means you don't want it bad enough and you haven't had an experience or started experiencing something that opens up your eyes and see that right, you don't have time. You don't have time to waste time trying to figure out to make time for what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Yeah.
That is the reality of it. But yeah, it's just sad how so many people don't know the potential of what they could do, and don't understand what's required, and won't take those steps, and they're unhappy. Their marriage is suffering. Their children are suffering, they're depressed or whatever because they're just scared to do what successful people do, right? But yeah, that would be my biggest advice. What I would tell those people, man,
No, you again.
All
you
right.
gotta do it,
So I'm sitting here, I'm listening. I'm working a
right?
9 to 5 job. I'm hearing this and I'm like, man, I can't even imagine sitting outside of McDonald's with a whole desktop trying to get this thing going. And then I'm sitting over here making excuses for myself. Oh, I don't have enough time. So from that point of view, and I'm thinking, like, okay, so what did you do to get started? What did you do to break free from that? So I'm ready to put all this other stuff to the side. Where would I start? What do I do?
My experience, man, I was just like everybody else. I had already started some things prior when I was working, but like I said, I wasn't taking it seriously. But I had done drop shipping. Um, I was making a decent income from that. I had uh, um, dibbled and dabbled in like affiliate marketing or whatever. But when I got to that point, like I was at $0. I couldn't afford to keep my store open and pay that
Sure.
monthly fee, so I was at zero. All right, so I I remember there's a quote from this book. I don't know how it really goes, but it was like when everybody was rushing to the gold rush, the people who made the most money were the people that sold the shovels and the picks
Yeah.
and all of those things.
Yeah.
So one thing about me, I was sales. That's why I chose the retail position. I know about how consumers think. All right, so I had that advantage. So I knew during the pandemic, a lot of people were rushing to the internet, right? But the majority of people were rushing to the internet on how to make money from the internet. What I said was, how can I make money from the people rushing to the internet, right?
Yeah.
So what I did, I said, what's one thing everybody's gonna need? Websites, domains, right?
Yes.
So what I did, I went on Fiverr and I was on Upwork, and I would just surf the internet for businesses that had websites or but they were really poorly made, right? And then I would just join groups and just like I would put out a sample website or whatever that I had created, and I just posted in groups for people who were trying to make money. So if I went to a group and they're trying to sell their shirts, I was like, hey, I do great websites for shirt companies, and I would throw my pictures and images out there. And then the people on the internet, I would build their funnel, right? So say if I saw a dentist company, right? I would build a dentist funnel that would attract that where their leads could put in their information, and I would automate it for them, right? So when I spoke to them or I emailed them, the funnel was already done, the full website with their logos and everything, right? I just
What?
went to their janky website and I just revamped it and built it. And
Yeah.
I would email them the link. I was like, hey, I saw your website. There's room for potential. If I would have done your website, this is how it would look. If you would like to purchase this, right? Reply back to this email. So they would click the link and go to their website, and it would look amazing. And then they would reply back, yes, how can I buy it? So they would purchase the website, and then I would do upsells. I'd be like, hey, if you want me to manage your website each month, you can pay me this amount each month right here. And in order for them to use that website, I was making my funnels through ClickFunnels. So they had never heard of funnels. So in order to use that website, they had to purchase the software ClickFunnels, right? And these are businesses. They would get the big software, right? And I would get 40% commission. So if they bought the software, I think back that time the software was like $200.
Yeah.
I would get 40% commission, plus they would pay me to run it, right? So that's kind
Wow.
of how I started out with affiliate marketing. I was actually a freelancer on Fiverr and Upwork, and I would put posts on Craigslist. Anything that was free, like Fiverr was free,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Upwork was free to post, Craigslist was free to post, Facebook groups and places like that. I would just reach out to those people, and that's how I first kind of got started. I I went from $0 to where I had my goal. I like, hey, if I could just get 10 businesses to give me $1,000 a month, I'd be great,
Wow.
right? So I worked up from 10K a month from 10 businesses, or some businesses they would pay me like 3,000 or 4,000 or 5,000. And I just went from there, and on top of that, I was getting recurring income from the software. They were paying me too, right? And it turns out, I don't know if you guys know about this, but we didn't have a car, and the ClickFunnels bought me a car because I
Yeah.
became.
Yeah, they do give you a
My
car
God,
after a
work,
certain amount
man.
of.
Yeah, they
Wow.
I bought my dream car through ClickFunnels and their affiliate program. Yeah,
That's
and
amazing.
that's how I got started. Yeah.
Wow. And you know what? I mean, that doesn't sound like it's so easy. You just click a couple of buttons and money just starts falling out of the computer. It sounds like you did a lot of work.
Yes, they definitely don't let it fool you. I had to learn my background, what I actually went to school in was computer graphics and building and everything. So I knew how to create websites. Um, but I stumbled across ClickFunnels in my search of how I was gonna do this, and when um, I got their free trial, and I was like, this is easy. I could do 100 of these
Yeah.
every day. Like what? And they give me templates? What? So and they're gonna pay me if I get people like what? All right, bam.
uh,
Right? So I did have that background to get me started, but the process of it, you know what I'm saying? There were I tell you some struggle stuff that were hurting me. Like I didn't have a phone, so I couldn't leave a phone number. So I only could go back and forth in emails and stuff. And I would leave towards the night, so I had to work all daylight, right? So I got to get these responses before it get dark. I can't be sitting out here with a computer at night, right? So
yeah.
I had to hit up. I probably emailed probably 300 people a day. I probably
Wow.
DM probably another 100 people a day, and I probably replied to probably about 50 um, emails or DMs every single day. Right? It was a numbers game. Out of 300 or 400 people I hit, it increased my odds of converting one of those people into a customer. Right? So my fingers, and I don't even joke. My fingers, I felt like I had arthritis. Right? And I used to have to soak my hands at night in Epsom salt for the next
Wow.
day. That's how much I typed. Don't
Wow.
feel sorry for it. I mean, I'm just telling you the struggle was real.
No,
Right?
bro,
I
that
put in the work.
no. Hey, no. Listen, if you're at home and you listening to this and you think that this don't require effort, or you've been sold that you could do this and you don't have to put much work in and it just comes, no, 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 no. You have to put in work. There's work involved. This man is a living testament to that work. And I can tell you right now, I've heard him say like the ending of the, well, I ain't even gonna say the ending of the story, but where he is now, I've heard him say on his lives how much life has changed for him. But as we get to that, I'm sure Queenie has another question because I see her bubbling over there. She's got something, so we're gonna
No
let her
problem.
ask.
No, I always have questions, but I'm just listening to your story and I'm just like, oh, so amazed with your story because we make so much excuses in life. Now I'm looking at myself and being like, okay, what excuses I'm making that is stopping me from achieving my goal? And so, you at home, what excuses are you making from achieving that is stopping you from achieving your goal? So you
Yeah,
really
put
need
it
to
in the
sit down and
comment.
think. Yeah, put it in the comment.
Mhm.
But Ronnie,
Right, right.
you and I think a lot of people, you start off because you had a skill already, right? And you start using your skill. And a lot of people right now think they don't have any skills to use, and they have so much skills that they can use and they can do affiliate market with. Like, it's you can do affiliate marketing with anything, and people just not aware of that. I have a friend who loves traveling, and she keeps sending me all these deals. I was like,
Hmm.
girl, you're missing out on a lot of money. She's like,
Yeah.
what? I was like, you can become an affiliate for Expedia and send me your affiliate link. Because if I book a flight or whatever it is, you're going to make commission. So there's so much ways you can make money. But I think some people are so afraid. They're scared. And if you're living in fear, then you wouldn't be able to live at all. And
I
that's what
agree.
I this year I'm like, anything I fear, I'm just going head for it. I'm just like
Hmm.
taking it head on. And it has been such an amazing journey. And because of that, I was able to meet Roger. I'm able to meet you. I'm
Right.
able to meet so much other individuals that helped me along this journey. I am so grateful for it because I just kick away. I kick fear. I'm like, I'm not fearing anymore.
Right. Right. Yeah. I totally agree. One of the things I teach a lot of my students that might believe they don't know anything or don't have any skill, um, like this is what I tell them, your 10% is somebody else's 90%, right? All you
That's
have to
good.
do is be one step ahead of the people you're trying to help. As long as you have that one little step, that one little solution to their problem, you can make money. And there's a lot of other people that don't know, right? Don't ever think you don't know anything. And if you think about the way like affiliate marketing, if we're just talking about that, affiliate marketing is just sending people to stuff, right? So whenever as human beings, we like to be in the know and we want to be that person. Girl, they got a sale going down there, right? Hey, I just bought this, right? So we do this anyway. Now all you're doing is just getting a commission for it,
Yeah.
right? So as long as you know stuff that's happening before the next person, and you can tell them about that, you can make a lucrative income off of affiliate marketing. Um, Outside of that, if we just talk about skill set, if you feel like you don't have a skill, you don't have to learn the full process of being knowledgeable. The same rule applies, right? The first thing to do is learn how to create an account or whatever. Say if you want to do ClickFunnels, people don't know how to create an account, right? The first thing to do is this. As long as you know how to do this, you're a step ahead of the people that never even heard of it,
Wow.
right? And you can monetize your limited knowledge of this because you know more than the people that you're bringing in behind you, right? And that's what people don't get sometimes. You don't have to be an expert or knowledgeable. You don't have to pretend to be nobody you're not. If you know that the only people I'm trying to reach is kindergarten, but I'm in first grade, right?
That's good,
As
man.
long as they in kindergarten, I'm gonna make some money, right?
Yeah.
So that's all you got to do, and if even if you just read a book, you know what I'm saying? You're a chapter ahead of those people,
Yeah.
right? So it just as long as you a couple of steps or a step or a chapter a day ahead of somebody else, you have the edge on them, right?
Yeah.
So that's my advice to that, man. Outside of that, you just gotta just put in the work, and that can vary as well. But you can't just assume, okay, hey, I read the chapter. Let me just tell one person, oh, that one person never replied back. This is not gonna work. This is
Yeah.
not for me, right? You gotta keep going long enough to where you can look yourself in the mirror and say, hey, I don't think this is the journey for me, right? I've given it a year and I haven't had any success,
Yeah.
right? It's got to be something that you can be honest with yourself and when I say honest, have you done completely everything you needed to do? Because some people don't understand that because we have our standards,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if
Mm-hmm.
you're trying to make money and you're a new business, a new entrepreneur, you have to let go of your standards. Okay? Like some people, they don't want to DM people,
Mm.
right? I'm not above DMing people. I'll email somebody, right? I'll
Mm-hmm.
get on a call with somebody, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, to talk with them if this person could potentially purchase something from me,
Mm-hmm.
right? But if we have our limits to where we're not gonna go and do that, then you can't really say you've done any and everything, right? And for social media, I get a lot of people, they're afraid to show their face on camera, right? But
Mm-hmm.
if you're struggling in that area and you're feeling like you want to quit, and you haven't tried that one thing, you fail if you quit because you didn't
Mm-hmm.
try everything to where you could look yourself in the mirror, like I said, and say, hey, I even went over my fear and I put out 300 videos
Mm.
and and all this stuff or whatever, and nothing happened. All right, and that may be the thing you need to do. This will be a little off a little bit.
Mm.
I'm a spiritual person, but
Mm-hmm.
this is what I also tell my students. Listen, I believe that we're all here for a reason, right? And I believe God has placed people on this earth that
Mm-hmm.
through him he can reach those people, right? So it's risky business because you may be out of position.
Mm-hmm.
You may be out of position for people whose lives you will put on this earth for God to use you to change, right? Because I
Amen.
can't reach everybody. I can only reach the people that God assigned to me. And
Mm-hmm.
if your fear, your procrastination, your doubts, your laziness, your insecurity, all of those things is preventing you to do what you were called to do. It's not just you, your family, and your finances that are suffering. It's millions of other people that you were probably meant to reach. They only get you when you say it, right?
Wow.
They only get you when you say it, and they never met you, and they end up still dying broke or being in an abusive relationship, right? It can get really, really deep if you really sit
Mm-hmm.
down and think about it, because it's selfish for me to say, I'm not going to do this because of this,
Mm-hmm.
right? But being on the other side from having people say, man, I'm so glad I found you. Man, man, you're changing my life. I look back and say, hey, what if I would have never did this? What if I would have
Mm.
the pandemic never happened? And I just seen, I get people every day. I got some of my students have recovered from drugs, right?
Mm.
And they've told me, hey, I'm glad that you gave me a purpose. You showed me I could do this. I would have relapsed, right? I have
Wow.
women that have been in abusive relationships. I have women and men that suffer from ADHD,
Mm.
and nobody else. They searched all over the internet and they stumbled across me by some, you know,
Chance.
chance, right? And
Yeah.
out of all of these people, they picked me to coach them and mentor them, right?
Yeah.
Or your content, your music, your blog, your anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's why just going back, it's selfish to only think of it for yourself, your fear, because it's so much bigger than that once you're in alignment with what you're supposed to do. especially if that what makes you happy, right? But sorry to get so deep. That's
No, 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 man. Hey, we appreciate that because, hey, I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't know if you ever heard of this gentleman by the name of Myron Golden.
he's
He,
my mentor.
Oh,
bro,
wow.
bro,
I talk
love that
about him all the
man.
time on my content.
Eh,
Yeah.
Tell him I
He
said
was a,
what's up, and I can't wait to work with him.
oh yeah.
Listen,
He makes $3 million a month, man. This
That's
guy
yes,
is,
crazy.
yes.
yeah.
Well,
But
he
he was one
says
of the
that.
people.
He
Uh-huh.
says exactly that. It's like, imagine if you stop doing what you're doing, there are people on this earth that's only meant for you because God makes us a king. And when you become a king in his kingdom, that's why God is the
Hmm.
king of kings. When you become a
Exactly.
king in his kingdom, your dominion is your dominion and nobody can compete with you. That
Right.
spot is meant only for you and you alone, and the people that you are not ruling over. You're having a dominion in an area where you're affecting lives, and it's only coming from you. And if you stop
Exactly.
what you're doing, you don't know what's going on over here, or this person who you would have affected or bought to a point in life where they could be like, man, oh man, I'm so glad I found you. it, it's mind blowing. It's mind
It's
blowing,
deep.
and
Right.
it's deep. And I love the fact that you bought that out because you know what, in this day and age, yeah, people are very, how you say, they very wishy-washy on spiritual things, and it's like, come on. We know this life is way more than what we give it credit for. We know that we're here to do more than what we
Hmm.
think we are. This material world is it's here and we're interacting with it, but there's more to this. And when you can become a person who can just grow, influence, and do things in a way that inspires people to do something positive for themselves, come
Right.
on, man. Yeah,
Yes.
we're
It's
meant to be
powerful, man.
this. It is.
Yeah.
It's powerful, Ronnie. It's powerful. It's
Yeah.
powerful. It's powerful. So I'm sitting
Right.
here listening to you, and you're telling me about being in first grade talking to the kindergartens. And the first thing that popped in my mind was, how do you get to the kindergartners? Do, where are the kindergartners? I'm in first grade. I'm ready to teach some kindergartens. That came out kind of weird, but using your analogy, I'm in first grade. I want to teach the kindergartners. How do I get myself in front of the people who are just behind me, who just read, who are trying to sign up, who are trying to figure things out? How do I do that? Why
Man,
I just don't want to be talking to myself.
man, that is the easiest but yet complex thing that some people just can't grasp. I'm
Okay.
always trying to figure out new ways, new analogies, and how I could teach people that. Um, it it took me a while to figure it out too, but once you figure it out, it just happened. But this is what I tell everybody. One, you have to go where the kindergartners go, right?
Okay.
So kindergarteners don't be in bars and clubs and stuff like that. So you have to learn the research of where those people congregate, right? So if we're just talking about platform, if we're talking about um, social media or online stuff, right? You have to be create a presence and go to where those people congregate. All right. Outside of that, you have to. I tell everybody, uh, you have to know your niche, right? So you have to know not only where they are, but all about them, right? So I make this analogy. It's just like if you're a hunter or a fisherman, right? I don't know if you guys have ever met a hunter or a fisherman, but when they go, like some of these fishermen guys, they take it real seriously. They could tell you the type of fishing pole, fishing rod, bait, the best bait store, the best time of day, the best time of year, whatever. to hunt this particular fish, right? So they can get them on the hook. And you have to know your niche that well, right? The same way you know yourself, you have to know those people. And once
Okay.
you know yourself, and another analogy, I'd be like, hey, you know your wife, you know your children, right? If I came to you and said your child said this to me, you'll be like, no, my kids say this, but I know they ain't say that, so I got to talk to them. I don't believe you, right? If you know your niche that well, it comes easy because you know how to talk to your wife, right? You know it's gonna piss her off, if I can say that, and you know it's gonna make her hug you,
Yeah.
right? You know how to talk to your kids, you know how to talk to your friends and uh, your boss or whatever, right? So you truly haven't, if you don't, if you find it hard to talk to, get people to listen to you, you haven't learned their psychographics, their demographics, and their language, right, of how you should talk. And then it also gets deeper on social media. You have to look the part as well. Some people try so hard to look better than themselves where they're hurting themselves because their niche can't relate to that, right? So if you look at my content, I'm really laid back, just hoodie, regular t-shirt or whatever. You wouldn't even know that I make the kind of money I make unless, I broadcast it or I tell you.
Wait.
Um,
People still at the sitting outside of McDonald's. What do you mean? What kind of money do you make?
yeah, man.
You don't have to give a number. You could just give a general, because we still outside in front of McDonald's with the big tower. You mean you
Yeah.
came up?
Oh
You
yes, last year I did 1.7. That's modest, I guess.
And is this strictly through affiliate marketing?
um, it's a number of things, but affiliate marketing is a nice big part of it. But it's a combination of affiliate marketing, digital products, and digital services, right? This year, uh, I'm getting into brands or whatever, so I got a few brand deals that I've signed with
Wow.
in the past like month and a half or something like that. But that's just something I'm testing. I'm not really a brand guy. I don't know if you guys know this. One of my struggles was introvertism, right? So I made my first fortune without ever getting on social media, right? I
Wow.
was totally behind the scenes because I was. This is how I could teach people. I was scared to get on camera. I was scared to show my face. I didn't have that confidence. I didn't know how to talk and sound like I know what I'm talking about. So I used to get a lot of referrals after my business started taking off, right? And people would, I remember they were like, yo, so and so referred me, and they said that you helped his website grow and his traffic grow, and he's getting so and so odd followers or whatever. And then they told me about it, and I went to your social media platforms, and you don't have any followers. Like what the, like this doesn't make sense. But I'm gonna do business with you because they kept talking about you, right?
Wow.
So that was crazy. Like I didn't have no big following. I just had a reputation, right? But I get it when people say they don't understand those things or they have those fear things because I had to get over them myself. One of my friends, I don't know if you've heard of him, but Jonathan Montoya, um, he he really, really pushed me to get out there. He was one of the key players at that time that encouraged me to get off of social media. I mean, get into social media. I'm sorry. But, yeah.
Well, I
Yeah,
can
but
tell you,
I
man.
did eventually change.
When I first came across you, you was doing a live, and there was no introvertism or nothing. You was like, man, get this trash out of here, get this out. You're doing this. No, redo this, take this off, man. Next. All right, we're going over to the next. And I'm like, yo, do
Right.
mine. Do me next. And you saw my stuff and you was like, man, what is this passive game? That don't even make sense. Man, get this junk out of here, man. And then you saw
Man.
the video. He's like, hold on, wait. Look like you know what you're doing. Hold on. All right, you know what? Keep that.
Yeah. I
But
remember it.
but I
Yeah.
love it, man. I mean, you went from the parking lot to now Parkway Drive. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, bro, you
Yeah.
came up from it and you conquered your fears. You got past that point where it was either not going. It either had to work or it had to work. You
Right. Exactly.
you didn't give yourself a plan B, C. It was this is plan A, and the plan after plan A is plan A.
Exactly.
Bro, I mean, I love it. I love hearing this. Queenie, I know you got some questions. I know because she's bubbling up over there. But I just wanted to say,
No
man,
problem.
I appreciate you sharing your journey with us because for you at home that's watching this, thi- this man literally he went past the point where we all have that fear, and he stood in front of it and he went past it. I mean, it was hard. You could tell, and you could hear the pain in his voice from reliving that. It was hard, but you don't have no excuses. I don't have no excuses. None of us do. But you want to make it work. Be a part of the 1% and make it work. Don't sit here
Exactly.
and not do your thing because I don't think it's gonna work. It's not gonna work because you have that expectation. You need to drop that expectation and expect something better. Queen, I'm gonna let you ask the final question.
No, I just want to make
Sure.
a statement. I think we feel, we literally give ourselves the F before we even try. And what I'm hearing is that a lot of the times we keep saying that, oh my goodness, I'm doing all that I can do. I'm doing all that I can do. But I came across this someone said something when I was watching their podcast, and they said, stop doing what you can do and do what is required. So, and that shift everything for me, because I'm like, I think I'm doing everything I could do, but it's not enough. It is not enough to get from point A to point B. You need to do what is required, which means you might have to get up 2 hours earlier than your actual alarm go off. You might have to go to sleep when everyone is sleeping. You might have to stay awake when everyone is sleeping. You just have to do what is required.
Amen.
I
She
totally
preaching
agree
truth
with
right
that.
there.
Yes. Just because you show up to class don't mean they're supposed to give you an A. You still got to pay attention, take notes, and pass the test. That's what's required.
Yes,
And
sir.
you can't just do the bare minimum and expect to have a financial miracle or just change in your life. You gotta do everything, and it's unavoidable, and people try to avoid the road to success. We try and find detours or shortcuts, like I always say. But your journey, your road, no, you can't go around. You gotta go through the thorns. You gotta cross and jump over the rivers and climb the mountain, right? Everybody else takes the easy and the safe way, right? They go to their job, clock in, work, clock out, come home. Friday they get a paycheck, right? You wanna be your own boss. This do, right? All the stuff they're not willing to do, right?
Oh,
So yeah, I like that statement. I've heard it before. What's required? Amen to that.
yes, sir. All right. Well, I'm gonna do something different tonight. I want you to leave us with 3 actionable steps. Right. we're beginning our journey, or we're in the middle of our road, wherever we are right now. I don't know where you are right now if you're listening to this, but if Ronnie could give us 3 actionable steps to get us in front of the new class that's willing to learn, and to begin the process, what are 3 actionable steps that we can just to start this process to freeing ourselves from these secure jobs?
Okay. Yeah. Great question. I guess the first thing I would say is you have to make up your mind, right? God forbid that you something like what happened to me happens to you, but the biggest thing, the biggest takeaway that I learned, I made up on my mind that I gotta do this, right? So if you can make up in your mind and accept this is no matter what happens, no matter how things change along the process, how rocky it get, what people say or think, the worst things happen to my life, I'm going to see this all the way through, right? I'm gonna do this, right? So I would say that'd be the first thing, make your mind and be real and be honest with yourself. You can't fool yourself. The second thing is you have to have a burning, passionate desire to do it. All I could sleep, drink, think is just success, right?
Yeah.
I just imagined myself in the house driving the car, the money in my bank account, and I couldn't. I couldn't go to sleep. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
just so passionate about it because I wanted it so bad, right?
Yeah.
I felt like I was wasting time, like watching TV or sitting down or whatever. I was like, I need this. I can't afford to be. I need to be in this
Yeah.
as much time as possible. Every breathing air in my lungs, I need to be doing this. And you gotta have that passion for it because people are gonna think you're crazy, right? They're not gonna see it, right? My wife didn't see it. My mom, my family didn't see it. My friends didn't see it. Everybody thought I was crazy, right? Now stuff like affiliate marketing and making money online, people are starting to get it. But back then, people were like, man, that's not gonna work. You need to get up, go find you another job. What are you doing? This don't make no sense. But your family is suffering. Like nobody's gonna see it like how you see it, and you gotta have that passion and make up in your mind because only you might be the only one motivating yourself, right? But those same people that didn't see it are now calling me. Hey, can you show me how you did this? Hey, oh man, yeah, man, I'm so proud of you. I knew you could do it. I'm like, man, come on, man, you know I could do it, right? So I would say make up in your mind and have a strong, passionate urge to want to do it, right? That's what's going to need you. And then the third thing is take action and do it. Period. Like,
Period.
don't start. Like, it's hard getting people to start. Start, continue, and complete. It's so simple. Start. Don't wait. I'm gonna wait till next year when I get my taxes. I'm gonna wait till my
Nah.
kids get out of school. No, start now, wherever you at. Like right now, if you're watching this video, start right now. And do what you feel like you want to do is gonna save you and your family and your sanity, right? And when you start, do not quit. Keep going. Don't stop. Most
right.
people pull back when stuff start getting rocky. Most people pull back. That's when you should go in harder,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to pull back on the thing that's gonna change the reason why you feeling like you gotta pull back,
Yeah.
right? If your lights get cut off, go find a friend house to use their lights. If your computer blows up, go to a library. Don't stop. You know what I'm saying? Don't,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta save money to get a computer. No. Somebody got a computer. Use your phone. Do whatever you got to do with that. But as long as you keep moving, you're getting closer to the goal. But if you stop the process, you stop the progress. All right.
Man.
Period.
Love
That's
that.
it, man. That's it.
Bro, I couldn't have ended much better than that, man. I'm over here getting chills. I'm like, I got to do this thing. Let's hurry up and end this show so I can get back to work. I'm
Man.
just messing with you.
The-
Bro, I
the
mean,
only
that's
difference
inspiring.
between successful people and people who are not successful, and some people who are successful, they probably don't even deserve it,
Yeah.
right? But the only thing they did different, they didn't quit. That's it. You can make people believe you can sing and you sound horrible and get a Grammy because they kept going. You can make people believe you funny and you're not that funny and you're selling out stadiums. You can make people believe you're the best fashion designer and it looks like crap, but people buying it because they keep going and they find the people that will buy it,
Yes, they
right?
do.
Just don't stop. Everybody else will catch on. They got to catch up, right? You doing what you need to do. They need to get you,
Yes,
right?
sir.
You start believing what they believe, then you're going to start failing. Make them a believer.
Ronnie, man, I'm so happy you did this show with us, man. It's been a long time coming, man. I'm so happy you made it on here. I appreciate you. I appreciate your story. Can you tell us where our audience, if they wanted to find you, where could they find you at? What's the name of your business that you're promoting?
Yeah, my acronym, or not my acronym, but my at name or tag name is Dad Learns Money. That's DADLEARNSMONY. That's it across all platforms. But I'm on TikTok, YouTube, Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. Dad Learns Money. You can also check out my website if you guys want to work with me, book a session with me. You can go to dadlearnsmoney.com. Right, and that's my hub. If you go there, you'll see everything else I'm doing. Plus, be able to book a session with me.
Cool. We're gonna make sure that those links are available in the description below. But
Sure.
with that, Queenie, you have any last
I
questions,
just
any
want to say
statements?
thank you for coming. Listen, so I'm just here in my mind. Like, okay, I have to do this. I need to reach my goal, and I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yes, sir. We really
Thank
do.
you guys, man. This was fun. I think you've trailblazed the way for me to do podcasts with other people.
Oh man, well, I can't wait, bro. Yeah, I can't wait to see your podcast, man, because I know it's gonna be lit, man. Because you
Right,
give
right.
really good info, man. Everywhere you go, you drop some gold nuggets. It's like you got a pot of gold and you just running towards the rainbow, brother. It's like you just leaving
Right.
all these little gold nuggets behind. Just like, ooh, I'm following this man all the
Yeah.
way to the rainbow.
Thanks so much, man. I try.
All right. Well, with that, I'm gonna say, Roger, make sure you cue the music. Good. We're gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody for joining us. Tune in next week where we're gonna have a home team show. It's gonna be me, Queenie, and David, and we're gonna be going over all the stuff we've been doing to implement all of the things that we've been learning along the way. So we'll see you then. Good night, everybody.